Welcome to Hannity. President Obama is imposing sanctions on Russia over allegations of election hacking. I'm Kimberly Guilfoyle in for Sean tonight. Kellyanne Conway and former U.S. Ambassador John Bolton will be here tonight with reaction. But first, earlier today, the Obama administration punishing Russia with sanctions, including expelling 35 Russian diplomats from the U.S. and closing Russian-owned compounds in New York and Maryland. Russia is responding by threatening to retaliate and is also saying the move was done to hurt the incoming administration. And President-elect Trump is reacting by putting out a statement that reads, quote, "It's time for our country to move on to bigger and better things. Nevertheless, in the interest of our country and its great people, I will meet with leaders of the intelligence community next week in order to be updated on the facts of this situation." Joining us now is incoming counselor to President-elect Trump, Kellyanne Conway. Kelly, thank you for joining us on the show tonight. Always a pleasure to have you. So lots of news on the international front, and certainly these developments as it relates to Russia are concerning. Have you spoken to President-elect Donald Trump about this?
I have, yes. I've been with him most of the day in meetings, including on this topic.
Okay, and what are his thoughts?
Well, you see them clearly reflected in his official statement, Kimberly. He does believe it's time to move on and look forward to the next administration. Also, in the interest of the country, he's agreed to receive an intelligence briefing next week, probably in New York, by a number of intelligence officials to learn more about the current situation. And I think those who are trying to bait him into a bigger response, I would say two things to them. Number one, you can't have it both ways. You can't on the one hand say, hey, just one president at a time, and we have one now for the next 22 days or so named President Barack Obama, but at the same time you want the president-elect to make new policy. I was really disappointed to read in David Sanger's New York Times piece this evening the allegation or the supposition that perhaps one reason that these sanctions are taking place is to, quote, box in President-elect Trump, forcing him to take a position or otherwise once he takes office. I hope that this isn't motivated by politics even a little bit. But I would also note to folks, Kimberly, that this is great political fanfare and largely symbolic. But will it have impact? Will these sanctions have impact? It is unprecedented for us to expel as a nation that many operatives over such a short period of time. I don't think at the height of the Cold War we even did that. But at the same time, you know, the GRU, where these operatives are, they don't really travel here. They don't keep their assets here. So one wonders, you know, what the teeth of the sanctions really are. I see Russia has already retaliated against our alleged retaliation. I think they were calling on closing the Anglo-American school in Moscow. They also put out a scathing statement that this is just lame ducks and political corpses, quote unquote. Those are their words. In the Obama administration doing a flurry of activity in the final week. So it's concerning and it's all new, but the president-elect was very brief and very firm and very consistent in his statement tonight.
All right, what do you expect and foresee for President-elect Donald Trump in terms of his relations with Russia? What do you think will be one of the first steps that he will take?
Well, that's a larger question, apart from these sanctions and certainly apart from the current issue at hand. We have complicated relations with Russia. We have for decades as the United States. But at the same time, the president-elect has made clear that he is willing to work with countries who want to work on big solutions together. For example, if there are countries that want to come together with the United States and help eradicate, not just contain and not just pretend they've gone away, but eradicate ISIS, then we would entertain that assistance depending on the terms. I mean, I would say it's just remarkable to me that we're talking about sanctions against Russia just days after I would call sanctions against Israel with that horrible UN vote where